What's up, guys? I'm BTC. Welcome back to the Respawn, a weekly series where I answer your questions. Today we're going to be talking about ELO Hell and a lot more. Today we're only going to have one really big topic and then a whole bunch of speed round stuff. So let's get started. Big question for the week, is ELO Hell real? Short answer is yes. But it's a little bit more complicated than that. It's not exactly what a lot of people think it is. So we have to start by defining what it is. So the first part, ELO, is a ranking system used in competitive games. The misunderstanding is that ELO stands for something. It doesn't. It's not an acronym. It's actually the name of the guy who created it. His name was Arpad ELO. He was a professional champion chess master, and he created this system in order to determine rankings. Now, in chess, it works extremely well. In other games, like Overwatch, not exactly as well, because there's lots of other factors that you can't really kind of use with the ELO system. But the general idea for ELO is the ranking system used in competitive matches. So ELO Hell is this place in the competitive ranking system that is nearly inescapable or extremely difficult to escape because of factors beyond the player's control. For Overwatch, this is going to be bronze, silver, and much of the gold rank. Now, the idea that it's impossible to escape this is simply wrong. It may be difficult, but it's not impossible. However, the concept of ELO Hell means that there are outside factors that are preventing people from being able to rank up. Those outside factors are going to be primarily three things. The first two are kind of in the same boat. It's throwers and leavers. And then the third one is a little different. That is Smurfs. Now, you might be thinking, well, that sort of stuff happens in all ranks. You have throwers in Grandmaster. So why do we pay attention to it when it happens in the low ranks? Why do we give it a special name and all that sort of stuff? Well, it's because, yes, there are throwers and there are leavers in Grandmaster and Master and Diamond. But the amount of people that are willing to throw a match or to leave a match when they're unhappy is exponentially higher in the lower brackets. And there's a really good reason for that. It has to do with the mindset of the players in those lower brackets. A lot of those players view themselves as being at the bottom. It doesn't matter if they're actually in bronze or silver or gold or even plat in some cases. They already view themselves as being at the bottom, which means that if they were to throw a match or they just leave a match, the penalties that they get incurred on their account don't really matter to them. Now, if someone is in Grandmaster or Master, they're going to lose a bunch and they realize that it's going to be a little bit more difficult for them to actually climb back up and to kind of counteract that abrupt rage quit that they had or whatever. But for the people that are in the lower brackets, they view it as, again, they're already at the bottom, so it doesn't matter if they incur that penalty. So people are going to be significantly more likely to just rage quit out of a match when they see a teammate using a hero that they don't like, or if they get into an argument or whatever it happens to be, they just decide to up and throw the match entirely. So there's lots of different things, and they just don't see the value in their current rank as meaning anything. And because their current rank doesn't mean anything to them, they're willing to just throw it away in order to hurt the other players on their team. The third thing is Smurfs, and these are going to be players that have deliberately dropped the rank on their account, or they purchased a new account in order to play at the bottom ranks significantly below their skill level for whatever variety of reasons. Most of the time, it's so that they can just kind of goof off, and they don't really feel like trying, and they just want something to mess around with. Now, the problem with this is if that Smurf is trying to de-rank, then that means he's going to throw the match for his team, and there's really nothing you can do to stop that. You basically have a 5 versus 6. Or the other side is that maybe the Smurf has gotten to the point that he wanted to, and now he's going to try hard as much as possible, and he's just going to absolutely destroy the enemy team. You have a GM playing in a bronze game, for example, the enemy team stands no chance whatsoever. And here's what makes ELO Hell real. A lower ranked player has absolutely no control over most of that stuff. It's all pure luck, whether it happens to benefit you or it happens to hurt you. So if you get the Smurf on your team who's trying to derank, you're just basically going to lose. If you get the whiners who want to complain and fight with each other, and someone rage quits or someone decides to throw, you can't control that. Even if you have a full 6-man stack, there's still the possibility that the enemy team is going to have that GM Smurf, in which case you're going to lose, and there's nothing you can do to change that. Some people who dismiss the concept of ELO Hell like to think that there's some giant cosmic thrower balancing act out there, where if you have a thrower on your team on this day, then you're going to get a thrower on the enemy team another day, and it's going to all balance out. That's not how it works at all. It's purely just luck. It is beyond your control. You could play all day, and every single thrower could be on your team, and then another person could play, and every single thrower is on the enemy team. There's no giant cosmic balancing act that tries to make it so that you have an equal number of throwers on your team and the enemy team. So there are going to be people that just have incredibly bad luck because, like I said, even if you play in a 6-stack, you still might get those Smurfs on the enemy team who just completely destroy you. So yes, ELO Hell exists. There are things you can do to try to prevent it. Obviously, playing in those 6-stacks is going to remove part of it, the throwers and the levers, hopefully, but it's not going to remove the Smurf aspect of it. And also, a lot of that responsibility falls on Blizzard. They need to take more serious action against people who leave games, people who throw, and the Smurfs, because right now, they're just, quite frankly, not doing enough to fight it. So, a lot of that is on Blizzard, and ELO Hell will always exist, but how bad it is can be minimized by Blizzard taking the correct action. Got a lot of them for the speed round, let's go. How do you react to people who say Overwatch is dead? I ignore it because it's dumb. What role do you think the next hero would be? It should be a tank or a healer. It's probably going to be damage though. What is the best event in your opinion? That would be the archive events, Uprising, and Retribution. They're really fun, they're original, they are challenging, they're just really good events. Why didn't Hammond get a Summer Game skin? Because no character gets a legendary skin immediately after their release. It's always several events after they got released. The only exception to this was with Orisa, and that's because her character model was used as one of the big boss bad guys for the Uprising event. Every other character had to wait quite a few events before they got a new skin. Do you think Moira is in a good position, and what changes would you suggest? For the most part, the character's fine. They should revert the change they made recently and allow her to heal through enemy barriers again. Why am I so bad at Lucio Ball? I lost every single placement. I don't know why you're bad, but I actually made a video that goes over all the tips and tricks and how to win guide at Lucio Ball. I actually posted it last year, but it's still valuable and you can check it out. I'll put a link down below. Do you think Blizzard would ever switch the theme of a seasonal event? An example could be switching Chinese New Year to Valentine's Day, as they both happen around the same time. It's entirely possible, and I think they're going to have to do something in order to switch up the events, because judging by the response to this year's Summer Games and the overwhelmingly negative opinion that people have of getting Lucio Ball again and again, they're going to have to change something up. They may not change the entire event, but they're going to have to change the game modes at a very least. This is why I like the archive events, because it's always something new every year. What's your favorite type of chip? Salt and vinegar. Do you think Blizzard should add other flying characters to the game, and do you have any ideas for new characters? Yes, Jet, Pack, Cat. But yeah, I think flying characters would be fine. In what playstyle is Hammond the best? A lot of people don't know how to play him yet. Yeah, a lot of people are always going to be bad at new characters whenever they get released. The best playstyle that I've seen is kind of you swing in, you do as much damage as you can, you maybe do a pile driver or something, you fire off until all of your ammo is gone, then you roll into a ball and you get out. The problem I see a lot of people having is that they go in and they try to stay there for too long. You gotta go in, do some damage, get out, and they just keep repeating it. Was Anna's buff completely necessary? Yes. Do you think she needs a bigger buff than what she was given, or should she be nerfed? Definitely not nerfed. And yes, she does need something a little bit more. It doesn't need to be amazing, but they probably are going to have to buff it up a little bit more. What does a red arrow mean when you kill someone instead of the usual white? It means that their final hit was a critical. Should Blizzard add more weapon skins which don't have to be unlocked via competitive? It would be a good way to respark interest. Yes, I've talked about this in the past. First, I think they should take the golden weapons away from the competitive mode altogether. I think there should be a different way of getting it. Maybe you can have it for hours played. Maybe it can be for like total damage done, or maybe total amount healed or something. Have like an achievement kind of thing for each character, and once you get to that achievement, it unlocks the golden weapon. And then you can have it so maybe other challenges will unlock further versions, like a diamond color weapon or whatever it happens to be. What do you use for your editing and your videos? I record using something called Action, and then I edit using Adobe Premiere. Which is the best meta for the next season? It's going to be Disrupt, although there is a little bit of a catch with that because Disrupt is a very, very high skill type of meta. So what you're going to see is people in GM using Disrupt quite effectively, and everyone else is going to have kind of a hard time. It's kind of like what we had with Dive, where the lower bracket tried to use it, but it didn't really go so well. Do you think the Summer Games should be replaced? The entire event? No. Lucio Ball game mode? Yes. Do you think any hero is super OP? There is no character in the game right now that is overpowered, and there have only been 2 characters in the entire history of the game that were actually overpowered. It was Bastion immediately after he got the Ironclad passive, and Mercy immediately after her rework. Why do you always show quick play footage and not competitive? Because of the way I make the videos. I write the script or put the notes or whatever, I record the audio, I edit it all together, and then I just grab a bunch of gameplay and put it in there. I'm not going to wait around for the full duration of a competitive match in order to make my video. On top of that, I want to put the gameplay of the character I'm talking about. So if it's a Torbjorn video, I want to put Torbjorn gameplay. But I'm not going to play Torb in competitive, or other characters like Widowmaker that I don't have a whole lot of experience on. I'm not going to use those in a competitive match just so I can get gameplay and cause my team to lose. Would you like another builder like Torbjorn or Sim? No, because automated stuff like the turrets are extremely difficult to balance. They tend to be way too strong in the lower brackets and just garbage in the upper brackets. What do you think about the silent nerfs to the animation cancels to the characters for Ryan, McCree, May, and so on? They're just bad. Basically dumbing down the game, making it less skillful. They shouldn't be doing that. They should be doing the exact opposite. Do you think Zenyatta is going to get a buff on his mobility? No, absolutely not. Never gonna happen. Do you think Overwatch will hire you someday? Extremely unlikely. Do you think Blizzard will ever add Jetpack Cat? It's a possibility. Probably not anytime soon, but yeah, it's a possibility. Why do I see so many good Overwatch players and streamers lay into the opponent's Zarya bubble? The reason is because it's a good opportunity to do so. Just because Zarya is using the bubble doesn't mean you automatically stop attacking. There are a lot of situations, particularly when the Zarya is isolated from the rest of her team, where the better option is to simply burn the bubble down and then take out the Zarya. Do you think there will ever be a hero that can mimic other abilities? Possible? I'm not really sure how it would work though. I tried to think about this, but really couldn't figure out a good way to get it to work. Does the Baja skin for Roadhog make it easier to hook someone because the hook is bigger than the other skins? No, it has absolutely no effect whatsoever. What games do you play other than Overwatch? I don't play any games for fun. Overwatch is a job. Like, that is what I do for a living. I don't play any video games for fun at all. I can't even remember the last time I did. Although I kind of am looking forward to the next Doom game. Do you think Hammond will be effective in the lower brackets? No, because the skill floor for the character is way too high. The lower bracket players simply do not have the mechanical skill in order to make him effective. Also, he requires quite a bit of teamwork as well, and I just don't see it happening. Is your cat's names Pickles and Mustard? No, but my cat's names are probably even dumber than that, which is why I actually didn't give out the cat's names. Do you think Blizzard is releasing enough heroes in a year? No, it should go from 3 to 4. Do you plan on branching out into other games? Love your content. Thank you. No, I'm probably going to stick with Overwatch for the foreseeable future. However, if you want to see other stuff, like Minecraft or Ark Survival Evolved and some other games, there's tons of it on my channel. You can go and check it out through all the old video playlists and stuff. Should Blizzard start to reset MMRs every season? Yes, they should. Why don't they do that now? I have no idea. Placements seem to be in name only. They don't have much of an impact. Correct. Your placement matches have almost no impact whatsoever on where you actually get placed. Where you go is dependent on where you ended last season and partially based on how well you play during the placement. Whether you win or lose is irrelevant. Who would Jetpack Cat be most effective against? Everyone. More seriously, probably characters like Reaper, Brigitte, Junkrat, anyone who has difficulty dealing with someone that's above them. Do you edit your own videos? Yes. How much health will Ana heal with Nano Boost while someone is heal boosted? Well, it's a base amount of 300 healing, plus the 50% from the heal boost, that's 150, so a total of 450. How can you beat Genji with a Hanzo, assuming you both have all the skills active? Try to bait out his deflect, and then you can just destroy him. How are you able to accurately predict upcoming metas and new heroes' hero changes? I'm sure you could also throw in there legendary skins for upcoming events. Well, not to toot my own horn, but I am fairly intelligent. I've got very strong deductive reasoning skills. I do a lot of research. So in short, I'm Batman. Thanks for watching, and if you'd like to see more, subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss anything. Also, come hang out in my Discord server and my Twitch live stream. Special thanks to my Patreon supporters. If you'd like to see what kind of cool VIP rewards you can get, check the links down below. And remember, always blame the controller because it's never your fault.